Hey everybody, quick hammock forum question and answer. Somebody wanted to know how do I make a 6-inch loop out of lash it 1.75 millimeter. So here's a couple 6-inch loops, and you don't need to worry about like marking them and all that kind of stuff. You don't need to do that. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, we got 16 inches. We're going to start with 16 inches, and we're going to do two 1.5 inch berries. So we just start at 1.5 inch, and now we don't need to mark anything. We don't need to do all those marks because this 1.5 inch, that's going to be our ruler. So we're just going to start our work right here at 1.5 and enter the braid at 1.5 and then capture the other side and pull it through. So you might notice this is starting to look like a lock Brummel type thing. Now once you pull that other piece through, you can just line it up with your 1.5 inch. And so that's why you don't need to do marking. You got two 1.5 inch pieces. And then the piece that you just pulled through, your original splice, now you can enter that one and pull this one through. So above that splice, enter the one you pulled through. You're basically doing your work in this direction. Otherwise you'll get a different type of splice. So I just entered it right there at the 1.5 and then pull it through. And now we got the beginnings of the locked Brummel. And so to finish this, just take these two ends and fold them back and bury them inside of themselves. And then at the end of the video, I'll show a picture diagram that shows you the loss that you get from this. So just enter and go all the way up to your original Brummel and pull that piece in. And then do the same thing here. If you're building some kind of other thing where you want to have a tail to grab and still have a loop, like you want to make this come out and be buried, you can actually leave this hanging out if you want to create something else out of it. But for this 6-inch loop, we're going to just bury it. We're going to make our loop as requested on the hammock forums. Okay, so we got it. We're going to pull it in there. So we got a locked Brummel and splice. So this will be right at 6 inches, hopefully. Yeah, there it is, 6 inches. Okay, so that's how you do it. You start off with 16 inches. And now if we folded 16 inches in half, we would have 8 inches, right? But we're going to lose 2 times 1.5 inch bury, which equals a 3-inch loss right there. Plus we're going to lose 1 inch from doing that 3-inch bury. So that's a total of 4 inches of loss. And so that's how we ended up getting our 6-inch loop. So 4, so minus 4 from 16 would equal 12. And if we took and bent that 12-inch piece in half, say this was our 12-inch piece, if we just folded it in half right there, we would have our 6-inch loop. So anytime you bury about 3 inches of lash it, you will get about a 1-inch loss. So if you're looking to create a formula, just think about that. Like if you wanted to do a super deep bury to make this thing thicker or something, you can just use that formula to figure out what you want. Like for example, if you wanted a 10-inch loop, okay, well first off you need at least 20, right? So you could say, oh, I need 20 because if I fold that over, it'll equal 10. Plus I need 3 inches of bury, so 20 plus 3, and that would be a 1-inch loss plus 1. So I would need 24 inches to do a 10-inch loop. So if you're trying to create a formula, you can do that. But you don't need to sit there and lay this out and tape it and put marks over here and marks over there. Just whatever your bury depth is. If it's going to be 1.5, use your little ruler and start out at 1.5. And then that length of zinget that you have, where you did your first splice at 1.5, that's a built-in ruler for all the work you have to do. There's no need to mark it or have a bunch of goofy formulas or have your stuff, taped down with all kinds of marks like everybody seems to do. Okay, hope that answers the question. That's just how to make the 6-inch loop. Thanks. See you guys later.